Hello and welcome. Actually, before I'm sharing my thing, let's do this, a video. Okay, so I am Delia Codes, and this is my stream. So what I'm doing here is I am live coding my web development node capstone. So I'm part of Thinkful's web development program, and we have 3 capstones. So you do one, and then you do one basic web development front end. You do another Node one, and then I think the third one is using React or Angular. So this is my Node, and welcome. So in the last 2 sessions, yesterday, let's see here, we did user stories, we did user flows, and then we started on wireframes. And wireframes for this project, compared to my last one, are really a lot more intense. And it's been actually pretty cool. So we did a bunch of mobile ones, and we'll probably continue that. After looking at a few of the different tool options, I picked up Figma and started using Figma. Afterwards, after my streaming session, I kind of looked at Mockflow's WirePro, and I think for my next one, I'm going to use that one. I mean, I like Figma, but Figma doesn't seem to include a lot of CSS options as far as I can tell and that sort of thing. Whereas Wireframe Pro or by Mockflow seems to include a lot of more coding stuff, which could be really cool. In any case, so we also created a README created a README and put our user stories in the README, and uploaded it to github.com/deliacodes/meal planner. And so the idea with meal planner is it's like kind of like it. The idea is that it's a place to put the meals that you're going to do for the week or for the month or whatever, and then generate a grocery shopping list from those meals, and to be able to schedule those meals. The idea is that you kind of put together different recipes and different ingredients, and you kind of import it, and it's a place to be more intentional about what you're eating without using a service like Blue Apron or something else that delivers you meals. If, for instance, you're less interested in paying a monthly subscription. So I think that's it. You can find me on Twitter at Delia_codes. I will be checking Twitter and tweeting out links and that sort of thing. And in fact, let me share my screen to you, and we'll make my first tweet of the day. Okay, welcome to my screen. I just tweeted out that I'm streaming. Thank you, LiveEDU. And so, let's see here. Let's talk about, I'm using Figma. And I wonder if Figma has a Twitter. Let's find out. Great. Following, let's tweet to. So I'm using Figma Design for my wireframing needs. It's an incredibly useful tool so far. And there we go. Okay. All right. So let's get started, shall we? Let's go back to the Figma meal planning. Okay, let me walk you through. I don't know who was there on my last one. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm on the comment tool. I need to be on the move tool. Perfect. Okay, so let's see here. This is our main screen, our main mobile screen. As you can tell, it has meal planner. I probably need to make a logo eventually. So that's kind of one of my next steps. Is going to be to make a logo after we finish the wireframes. So this is the meals list. One of the things I was thinking about. Okay, so right now we have this peach color as the selected color. It might be good to add a UI element that like denotes that it's selected, like some sort of black rectangle or something. So let's do that really quickly. And the reason why we want to do this is for accessibility reasons, right? We want to do this because it's if I can't see that peach color for whatever reason, I need to be able to denote that this is selected. So you kind of want to give it some sort of like black border. So let's see if we can do this correctly. Whoa, nope. Okay, so let's do a weight of 4. I feel like that looks pretty good. I really can't see it outside of the pen tool. Okay, let me do something else. I think I like that. Yeah. And this way people know that that's what's selected. So let's make another one over here. And then let's make the weight be about 5. Okay, great. Okay. All right, we're just gonna leave that for now. I may be overthinking this as I do this. I mean, I like it, but I'm also like, maybe this should come later. Maybe I should be doing that. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this now. Well, regardless, we've done it. I just don't know how to do these pen tools Okay, I'm really confused right now. I do not know. I don't know how to make it stop doing a pen tool. Like, because it seems to be, what it seems to be doing is it seems to be like making a continuous like thing over here. And I really just want to draw a box. That's all I want. A box. A border even. I don't know, maybe I'm using the wrong damn tool. Maybe I should be using the wrong line tool. Maybe that's easy. That's going to be easier. Okay, let's go weight 5. Okay. I mean, okay. So I think that we should back off of this change. Because as much as I like it, I don't necessarily think that it's going to be what it needs to be. I think that there may be a better UI design pattern to solve this. So, in my, let's see if there's anything interesting. Nope. Let's close my Slack, but let's open up the chat. And eventually I'm going to start streaming to Twitch as well. And let's make sure that we are streaming. Great, that's me. Though I will change my, that was a bit choppy. I think we need to change my video bitrate a little bit. Okay, maintenance done. Let's get back to work. Okay, so where we were at is we were this add an item button is kind of where we were. Why this add an item button is black, I don't know. That's one of the things that I'm kind of confused about. I think this add an item button should be the same as this button. It should be the same color. There we go. Okay. So we have add an item, and then it's going to be like items, blah, blah, blah. So let's create another thing. I don't know if we need view current list. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting into the user flow doldrums. Because it's like, okay, so let's go with this. So you're in the list tab, right? And you see what things are there. And it could be add and then view current list, or there's add an item. So actually, we could just replace this. It may not make sense. Honestly, it may not. I don't know if this list entirely makes sense. I think we can just delete this. And so let me explain why. When you're adding an item, you don't need to see what the other items are. Like, hopefully you went to this list. You know what I mean? Oh, that's why we did that. Okay. So it's a question of how do we add or versus delete. So I don't think it's very clear to have add an item and then click on an item to delete. I think what we need to do is we need to add an item, delete an item, and then add an item will come up with different sorts of things, and then delete an item is going to be at the bottom. Okay, yeah. So this really will get moved over. Okay, I did not mean to delete that. I meant to delete that. Okay, so, and actually, so let's think about MVPs. If your MVP is such that, so let's think about, I guess, MVP. Like, list management is useful, but isn't everything that you need. You might not be able to be adding an item. Maybe you're just deleting an item, deleting items that you already have, because ultimately it's about meal planning, right? So because it's ultimately about meal planning, it's about what ingredients do you need for these meals. And while it definitely can turn into a shopping list app, sort of thing, I think that is a question of like what, my current list of ingredients. I think we need to not assume that people are going to use this as their main shopping list for now, until we like have that. So really, I think what we're doing is we're saying, click on an item to delete. So that's, I think, what we're going to do. And then, if need be, we can definitely turn it into a shopping list app later. Kind of like every app becomes a messaging app. I think that that's kind of what we want to do. Okay. So now that I have gotten my liquid nourishment out of the way, let's make this happen. So this isn't add an item. This is click the item. This is instructions. This is user instructions. So instead of this blue box, we're going to make this text black. And then we're going to delete that blue box. And let's edit the text of it and say, click an item. Press and hold an item to delete. I don't know if it's called long press. It may be called long touch. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. Okay, so let's get this and let's paste it. Okay, and then the only other thing I can think of that we need to do is like edit the line height to be like 110. Okay. There we go. Not too shabby, huh? Okay. And then view current list. And then great. And then the only other thing I could think of is add a meal or edit meal. So we need to figure out where those menu buttons go. So add a meal is going to be, let's create a new frame. Okay. And then from here, let's paste our thing. Great. Let's take this and hide it like we always do. And now let's turn what needs to be peach peach. So we are in meals. So what this means is that let's get our peach color copied. And let's go to meals, meal tab. And then let's change the meal thing to black. Okay, awesome. All right, now we're ready. So we have clicked the add a meal button. So let's edit this frame. Okay, and then from there, all right, what else do we need to do? We need to say, we need a bunch of input fields and text boxes. So let's say meal name. And this is going to be ingredient 1, ingredient 2, so this should be Anyway, I don't know how to I don't know how to like center these. Okay. And then we should create some buttons down here at the bottom, like a submit button, that sort of thing. Well, let's create our text boxes first. Make sure I know what we're talking about. Okay, so this is I don't know what color these should be. Okay, that's weird. Aha! That's kind of cool. Solid radial. Okay, so what I kind of want to do is I want to denote that, oh hey, you can enter things into it. That being said, this is definitely not what I had in mind. So let's go back to our color palette, which is over here. So we've got this gray, we've got this blue, we've got this peach, and then we've got this. And then we've got white and we've got black. So for me, I think a black outline would be the best, but maybe not. I think for now, like putting them as like some sort of off-white with black text, or gray text. That's what it is. I can use this as like a text color. Okay, let's go for it. Unless there's some other design pattern thing, which may be the most useful thing. So let's do content explaining the process, images, tables. So notice how this is like this box, and then this box, and then blah, blah. That's kind of what we're looking for. Like macaroni and cheese, sort of thing. So let's make all this happen. Actually, let me go back to that so you know what I'm looking at. Okay. There we go. That's what I'm looking at. All right. So what I'm thinking is that for us, it may be good to use the blue as a design or the gray as a background and then have these white text boxes. Which honestly, and if you were doing a language, that sort of thing, it's not a bad idea. I mean, the biggest thing is notice 63% of people liked this. I feel like that's not many. All right. So let's do that. Oh, look at that. How the hell did I do that? I don't know. I mean, I think it's fine. Oh, I added a stroke. Well, okay then. Guess what? And I think I added a drop shadow. Me playing around with things worked. Horrendously worked. Okay, so guess what we can do? We can go back. And you know what we can do? Add a stroke. Because an idea is never done until it's done. Right? I actually think a wait 2 is probably better. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're revisiting my idea of like a border around it. So, surprise, surprise, it turns out there's an easier way to do it than the way I did it previously. So let's continue editing our views. I need and what this stroke is denoting is that this is selected and this is not clickable. The idea being that it's telling the user visually that here is where you are. So we're not just relying on color. And again, this is exactly the kind of reason why we're doing this, is so that we can get a lot of this font out of the way once we go and design it, and we're not like going, oh my god, you know? I feel like that component's off, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so we are continuing to add these sorts of things. You can tweet at me at Delia_codes. This is my NodeJS project. We are working on something called Meal Planner. And so Meal Planner is the idea that you can and should be able to plan your meals pretty effectively using an app. So what we're doing right now is we are creating our wireframes. So let's continue to do this. And let's add a stroke. No, it just needs to be one. And then we're going to add a drop shadow, because we can. And a stroke, and a drop shadow, because we can. Okay, so let's make some text boxes now, shall we? Okay, and then let's definitely reduce the font size. We'll choose like 18. Well, let's select all and choose 18. And then maybe 24. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, and then let's go to this list label. Let's use this color. And let's edit this to say enter a meal name. And let's create another one. And enter an ingredient. Enter. Actually, we don't need to create another one. We can just copy this one. Of course, hopefully we'll get to the point where we're scraping the web for these sorts of things, and we can just be like, oh, hey, thank you for importing our recipes. Or have a recipe search. Okay. Though I feel like that this is not quite aligned the way it should be. Okay. I could go nuts with alignment, but I'm not. All right. Next, let's add more ingredients, and then save. So 2 buttons. Let's create our save button first. Okay, and then let's copy this color. And then let's type save my meal. Okay. And let's do, they have star, ellipsis, polygon, line. Let's do a rectangle. So maybe a circle. No, I think it needs to be a rectangle. And let's make it centered. Okay, and let's make it blue. And then let's grab the text. Add more ingredients. And we'll make that plus sign big. Maybe not that big. That'll do. Now let's clean up the formatting. Okay. My box needs to be bigger. Okay, it doesn't look terrible. I don't like the... Maybe we need to remove one of our ingredients, remove everything up, because it's looking really crowded with the Save My Meal. Yeah. Let's relocate everything. Shall we? Okay. And this UI design may be too close up. I don't know. I'm a little concerned about it, frankly, but... I wonder if there's like a UI design pattern, sort of thing. That's out there that I should know about. Voila. Okay. Okay, that actually looks a lot better. I mean, it's a little busy, but it's not too busy. It's like ingredient, ingredient, ingredient. This needs to be over a little bit. Okay. So let's rename things, shall we? So we're naming this Add More Ingredients button. This is a Save My New Meal button. This is Enter an Ingredient. we're going to find out if I'm able to save things as multiple things. Yes, I am. Okay. Great. All right. Not bad. I mean, not like the most amazing in the world. I feel like this could be a lot more even. And frankly, I'm not sure. But we'll go with that. And it's possible that maybe I need a better button style, sort of thing. Maybe I need a more consistent button style language, especially with this add a meal and edit meals sort of thing. Well, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and I will get back to you. So let me go and do that. Bye. Be back at about 2:02 Pacific Standard. Okay, I'm back. So, hello, I'm Delia Codes, and this is my Thinkful Node Capstone stream. Currently, we're designing the Capstone app. It's titled Meal Planner. It's essentially an application to help you plan your meals and to make up a grocery shopping list. I'm working on my MVP now, and the designs for it, just so that we've got everything happening. So let's do this. Let's tweet out something real quick, shall we? What I'm wondering is what we should tweet. So I think we should tweet about how much fun we're having designing. Designing as a student, as a beginning developer, is often an exercise and of course I didn't spell exercise right, an exercise in learning what to say no to. Let me repeat. Designing as a beginning developer is often an exercise in learning what to say no to. And in remembering to reuse what you've done before. Perfect. Let's tweet that out for all of my 10 followers. Well, hopefully it'll be more eventually. Okay, so thankfully my tweets outshine my number of followers, but you know, that's how it goes. Let's show my new tweet, which is just me. Let me not give you the picture within a picture feeling. And okay. And we're good with this. Okay, so we did add a new meal. Edit meals. So we do have to come up with an edit meals thing, or we have to convert this into... So we've got two options here, right? I honestly feel like this we should just delete. And then we should make it more like this. What do you think? I mean, I definitely think that that's the... I mean, I think that's a good use case for it, because what you can do is you can make it all the way across. And actually, to be quite honest, I think this should probably be all the way across. And so for this, let's create a box that will hold this. Perfect. And I think the meals thing is going to yeah. Okay, so let's make this white. No, we're making it blue. This blue. And we're going to make the text white. Send backwards. and backwards. Okay, great. And then edit meals. So what we're going to do here long press. We're going to say long press on a meal to edit. And then we're going to make this portion smaller, and then we're going to drag it down. And then we're going to display the different meals. And notice how like the design language is much better around this. You know, I don't know if we actually want. I don't know if we actually want these borders, but I'm not gonna like question myself really. I'm just gonna go, oh my god, what is going on here? The other thing that we could do is we could say, well, I think the other thing, because you're in mobile, like you don't want to mistype, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, you could combine this. We may be creating too many screens, is what I'm saying. You could long press on here. So let's move this down real quick, and then move this here, and then say, and then copy this portion. And put, whoa, what did I do? Okay, there we go. I want to zoom in again. There we go. So guess what? This is going to be mobile editing meal. And then this is going to say so this is going to say add a meal. Because you want to keep it simple if you can. And this should probably actually include some user instructions too. Well, the nice thing, I have to admit, the nice thing about this is that it keeps the same proportion. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to move you. Perfect. And let's include a little bit of user instruction. Okay. I think that's too long. We're just going to ignore the user instruction right now. Because I'm not sure what to say about it, frankly. Like, what am I saying here? Why am I doing this? Okay, I'm really confused. There we go. Okay, why is this showing up and this is not? Oh my god. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do so this is a mobile editing meal screen. So this thing is going to save my edited meal. And then from there, we're going to copy each of these UI elements. And we're going to make this text black. Okay, and then we're going to give a couple ingredients and an add more ingredients button, and then we're going to be done. And it's like, yay, done. At least partially. So let's check Twitter. Make sure there's nothing interesting on Twitter that has people have tweeted at me or anything like that. I don't see anything going on in the chat. Let me check the other chat. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Cool. Hello, Slow UA. All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's get back to work, shall we? I feel like I'm slow at this, but honestly, I think you kind of have to be sometimes. So, and this is the first time, and I guess it's also like first time using the tool, first time using blah, you know. Okay, so that's the enter an ingredient field. Okay, and then we're going to copy this and put this over. We're going to put that. We're going to say 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then we are going to click here and say macaroni. And I mean, the only other thing I can think of is like we could have labels for them, like meal name, that sort of thing. I'm not sure if we desperately need that. I'm going to leave them out for now, but maybe we need to have labels. I mean, we'll certainly have like some sort of labels for accessibility reasons once we get there. So let's enter. Whoa. And then let's put in cheese, and then, and to save time, I'm going to enter seasoning salt. Just because I can. Ha! Centered that one right. Okay, and then let's change the color. And let's copy our add an ingredient. Okay, not bad, huh? All right, so I think we've got a mobile view. So let's zoom out and go through it real quick, shall we? Okay, so we've got our home screen. We've got here are my current meals. Here are my scheduling view. Here's my current list. Here is my mobile editing screen. Here is my manage list, so you can delete items if you already have them. And this is my add a meal. Sounds pretty decent. So I think that's it in terms of that. I mean, the only other thing I could think of is creating a schedule view, a what meals are on what schedule. But I don't think that that's going to be too big of a deal. I mean, maybe I should have it in my wireframe. Okay, so let's look at the project requirements a bit more and kind of go from there. So let's see here. So the one thing I haven't done is write out a user journey. Like I wrote user flows, but I didn't necessarily write up per screen because again, I've been playing around with the screens. So that's one of the things to keep in mind is that in some ways it's like I probably need to sit down and create a list of user flows and kind of mind map it a little bit more. So let's go to my board for my capstone and kind of take a look at my user flows. So let's do this. Let's put this side by side with my meal planner thing. I want to move this menu over. Okay, can I move this menu over? I think the answer is no. Okay, so user starts on the landing page telling them about this project and how to use it. Okay, this could be the landing page, this could be just the home page. 3 ever-present options, not ever, every, meal schedule, and list. The app home, so the app home screen. Reminds the user after the tutorial how to navigate the app. Between those three views. So let's go through them one by one. By clicking the Meals tab, the user is taken to a list of meals and is able to click each meal to edit. And to click and add a meal button. By clicking the Add a Meal button, the user is taken to a form where they enter a meal and save that meal. Enter a meal name, the ingredients, and then are able to save the meal. After saving, they're taken back to the meals page. If a user long presses they will be taken to the Edit Meal screen, where they are able to edit a pre-filled form with a new name, additional ingredients, etc. Great, so we've done the meals. So I'm going to divide this with a tilde. Say Meals tab. Tilde. And Schedule tab. And then we're going to create another tilde for our grocery. Okay, let's delete that. Notice how like these all seem like really overly ambitious right now. Like from the schedule page, the user takes a calendar and places it. I mean, you're talking about a mobile device. Like, I mean, I could put a calendar in there, sure, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, but if you're trying to see what meals are upcoming, I don't think you're necessarily going to want to see a month from now. Like you might, but really you're probably caring more about the next week. And if we want to do a month, we can figure that out. We just want to keep it simple. And I mean, until you get user feedback, you want to keep it as simple as possible. So it's like, but the creative impulse is to like do this gigantic thing, or this would be really cool, you know? I mean, it's hard to create simply. Okay, so let's see here. All right. And list. The user clicks each named tab that toggles between those three views. Okay. So when clicking the schedule tab, when the user clicks the schedule tab, they are taken to the how do we put this? I should probably take a break. Yeah, probably. Okay. All right. We'll call it a 3-minute break. So I'll be back at 2:38 my time, Pacific Standard. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, my name is Delia Codes, and I'm working on my Thinkful Node capstone. So, let's get this going. All right, we're working on user flows and comparing our user flows to what we have here. So, I wish I could kind of like make it. Ooh. Where's my other one? Where's my first one? Oh, that first one is a component, and so it doesn't show up. That's fascinating. Okay. I also should look at the comment and see if that's something that I should do. Okay. Okay, so meals. You've already covered this. Okay, schedule. They are taken to the of the next week's dates when a date is long pressed. Actually is pressed, not long press. Long press is a little bit hidden for users sometimes. That's why it's good for editing, just so that a user doesn't necessarily like accidentally edit. And is able. Okay, when a date is pressed, the user is taken to a view of that day's meals. And I think that's it. I mean, I think, and honestly, I think the schedule bar can be cut out. So like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not sure if it's an MVP thing. So grocery tab. And really this is a list tab, not a grocery tab. Okay, so when the list tab is clicked, the user is taken to a page with their entire list displayed. The user is able to click a Manage List button at the bottom. Okay, great. We've covered this in the edited meal. So when the Manage List button is clicked, the user is taken to a list where they are able to long press an ingredient to delete. User is able to go back to the current list by the view current list button. And honestly, I'm not sure if this is actually really completely necessary. Like, it could be like view current list. I mean, you could combine like manage list and view current list, but eventually you probably want to add things to the list instead of having to add things via the ingredients. Maybe, though I don't know. Maybe that's a user pattern that we don't want. But I could think of like, oh, I need blah, and it needs to go with blah and blah and blah. Like, I need salt. I shouldn't have to put salt in you know what I mean? So anyway, blah. Such is life. Okay. We're gonna. No, I need to like stop playing. How do we stop playing? Escape. No. There we go. What? Okay. Aha. All right. Let's save. And blah. Okay. All right. So the only other thing I can think of doing is maybe like so we've got more views to work on. We've got tablets and we've got desktops. Okay, let's check the chat real quick. Nothing new on Twitter. And let's make sure there's nothing new on okay. Nobody's watching. Which is as it is. I'm not gonna complain too hard. People watch the YouTube regardless. Okay. So let's get back to it, shall we? Okay, let's add another, let's add a tablet view. Okay, we're going to create a 7-inch tablet. So I kind of want to... I mean, to be quite honest, I kind of want a... oh, there's the thing. Okay. All right, so we'll do a landscape view. So let's create a component. Okay. So let's think about what this should look like. we have a lot more space in a landscape view. Though perhaps what we should do is we should be thinking about how this looks in a landscape view. I mean, does it just zoom in or does it shift? I think this is a UI design pattern question. Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out is like where we're going to put each of these different designs. So looking at this is So if you look at this versus this, so there's fluid orientation design, extended, which is kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't like that either. That's not too bad. An orientation toggle, I mean, I actually liked that, but I don't think that's, I mean, this is from 2012, and it does feel very 2012. Okay, so let's do this. Let's create a vertical menu. Let's recreate this menu here. Okay, so let's go with app title background. We're going to copy that element, and we're going to create it right here. Okay, and then I wonder if we can rotate it. I mean, just because I want to keep the width the same. Doesn't seem like I can immediately do that. Okay. So, oh, wait. 85 is what it says. Okay, so let's do 85. And then, I mean, I guess my question is, does that need to be to the side like that? Or should it be up top? I mean, I don't necessarily think it needs to be up top. Your screen real estate is a ton over here. Okay, so you know what we're going to say? We're going to say that it's going to shrink to a logo. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to create a very, very simple logo that will stand in for the actual logo. And then we're going to do this as FFFF. And we're going to place this. Actually, we want it to be bigger. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to create another text box. And we're going to say MP, meal planner. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create each of these design elements. Over here. Okay. I'm getting lost in my views. Okay, this needs to go up here. So I need the schedule tab. And I need my list tab. And honestly, I'm not sure if the logo necessarily needs to be here. I'm going to do that and then move that up. And this is probably, whoa. All right. There we go. And then from there, let's create a And then let's move that over. Okay, cool. That worked. Now, let's see if we can get schedule. This is going to be the fun part. Schedule. Yeah. It's not too bad, but not great. Think we're going to have to reduce font. Okay. The only other way I could think of doing it is if we do it like across or something ridiculous like that. Okay. And this is list. And let's change it back to font size 36. And let's change it to a contrasty color. And then let's move it. Not bad, huh? All right, we create it as a component, and then we portrait mobile port rate view home. Okay, cool. Okay, and it is about time for me to stop my stream. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Delia Codes, and this is my Node capstone. We're currently working on the wireframes. We just about finished up our portrait mobile views. Now we're working on our landscape, which I realized I completely did not name that landscape. And thankfully, it's really just a matter of translating the design that we've created into landscape and then eventually desktop. All right, have a good day. I will be back in about 2 hours or so. And yeah, you can catch me at Delia_codes. Bye.